Dear viewers, welcome to our channel GVS Bank Academy. Today I am going to discuss about CAAB, BFM Bank Financial Management case study on various types of risks in bank financial management, particularly banks. It is risk management, treasury management and balance sheet management. Various types of risks are there that we are going to discuss. Now, various types of risks. Credit risk. In the Indian banking industry, credit risk is very high. Credit risk. Credit risk means default risk or credit spread risk. The credit risk arises from potential changes in quality of the borrower, credit quality of the borrower. So default from standard account to NPA account, quality is going to be changed. That is default risk or credit spread risk. Credit spread risk means rating downgrade risk. Now, in the ratings normally, year on year, the ratings are going to be migrated. For example, at the time of our loan sanction, that is AAA rated. AAA rated. Now, presently, it has been migrated, downgraded to triple B, for example. So, that is called credit spread risk. That is also called as rating downgrade risk or rating migration risk. This is also Indian banks are facing a lot of rating downgrade risk or migration risk, but lot of default risk. That is it. Risk of underestimation of credit risk under the standard approach is also called as credit risk. At the time of calculation of credit risk under standardized approach, standardized. Presently, credit risk calculation or assessment, as per Reserve Bank of India guidelines, all Indian banks are using standardized approach for credit risk estimation, calculation or capital assessment. So, at the time of estimation of the credit risk under standard approach, any underestimation the banks are doing, that is also lead to credit risk. That is it. So overall, credit risk is very important for Indian banks. 85 to 8 out of total risk, 85 to 86% is credit risk. That is it. Second one, call risk. Call risk. This is crystallization or conversion of non-fund based liabilities into fund based liabilities. Call risk, crystallization or conversion of non-fund based liabilities. What is there? Now, the banks are issuing bank guarantees or letter of credit. On invocation of bank guarantee, immediately within 48 hours, the bank has to make a payment to the beneficiary. Same manner, under letter of credit also, after development of letter of credit, bank has to make payment immediately to the beneficiary. So at that time, banks are facing risk. That is called as call risk, crystallization of contingent liabilities. That is called conversion of non-fund based limits or contingent liabilities into fund based liabilities. This is the question they are asking in examination also. Country risk. Now, as of today, most of the banks are doing business in other countries. At the time, banks are also facing country risk. Country risk. Country risk is a type of credit risk. Country risk comes as a part of credit risk. Country risk comprises of transfer risk, sovereign government risk, political situation in that country, cross-border risk. You are seeing so many countries, wars are taking place, non-cooperation is going on. All the things will come under currency fluctuations. All the risk will come under country risk. When the banks have to make the country risk, that is also one question. A bank, any bank operating in India, having a broad branch network in any particular country, in that particular country, the total assets of that bank is having 1% or more than 1% of total bank assets. At that time, the bank has to make country risk provision. Country risk provision starts from 0.25% to 100% of the outstanding amount of the borrowing accounts. That is one. Country risk provision now for the CRAR purpose. whatever the provision under country risk, we are using as part of Tier 2 capital. So this is about country risk. Time risk. Time risk. Temporary problems in recovery or inflows. What is meant by time risk? We are expecting some recovery in a borrowing account. Borrowing account. That recovery is not forthcoming. That is called time risk. We are expecting some inflows to the bank, some deposits or some inflows, recoveries. That inflow is not forthcoming. That is also time risk. So temporary problems arising in recovery of loans or getting inflow into the banks. That risk of weaknesses in the credit risk mitigants. Credit risk mitigants. Credit risk mitigants means securities. Whenever the bank is accepting securities or guarantees at the time of sanction towards credit risk mitigation, in that securities weaknesses are there, the securities are not properly there, then the bank has to face credit risk at a later point of time. At a later point of time, the bank has to face credit. That's why at the time of accepting securities toward the credit risk mitigation, the bank has to do more diligence while accepting the securities. That is the credit. Embedded option risk. Embedded option risk. Embedded option risk means before maturity closure of deposits. Before maturity closure of deposits. Some customers are coming and closing before maturity. That is called embedded option risk. Some borrowers are prepaying their prepayment of their loans prior to due date. That is also embedded option risk. This question also they are asking in this. Market risk. After credit risk, market risk is also one of the major risks in the banking industry. Market risk normally and generally more in treasury investments department, market risk is more. Market risk of loss arising from movement in market prices. When there is a movement, adverse movements in market prices, then market risk will take place to that bank. And foreign currency rates are also fluctuating. Rate of interest also fluctuating, and prices of investments. Whenever there is adverse prices of investments movements are there, the bank has to face market risk. What are the main components in market risk? Liquidity risk. Liquidity. Liquidity means unable to meet the payment obligation. That you have to remember. Liquidity, unable to meet the payment obligations. Interest rate risk. Adverse movements in interest rates. Currency risk. Adverse movements in currency. All the things will adversely affect the earnings of the bank, inflows of the bank. That is called market risk. Market risk main risk in investments or treasury department. Credit risk is more in bank branches, and market risk is more in treasury or investments department. Liquidity risk. Liquidity risk. You are seeing in the market also, so many banks are facing market liquidity risk, unable to pay the commitments. A bank is under liquidity risk. The best example is the bank is unable to meet the withdrawal obligations of the depositors. That is called unable to pay the commitments of the bank. Normally, this liquidity risk can be included as part of market risk. Market risk. Market liquidity risk. A bank cannot easily offset, sale or eliminate a portion at the current market price. That is called market risk. Once again, market risk means whatever the present portion is there in the bank's portion with the bank, that amount, the portion, that securities portion or the investment portion or the currency portion cannot sell or cannot purchase or eliminate at a position at the current market prices. So the bank is not in a position to sell or purchase whatever the requirement is there that is at the current market prices. So the current market prices, there are no buyers or there are no sellers, or the market is weak. The market is closed for temporary period. At that time, market liquidity risk will also there. This is called liquidity risk. Now in the examination, they are asking more about liquidity risk. Liquidity risk. Then gap or mismatch risk. We can say ALM, asset liability management, mismatch as gap. Gap means the payments are more and the income or receipts are less. At the time, the bank is facing negative gap or mismatch. So the negative gap or mismatch, it is also called as liquidity gap, liquidity risk, or funding gap. Funding gap means payments are more and the income or receipts are less. The negative gap, the bank is unable to get the funding. That is called funding risk. This particularly will talk about gap or mismatch or ALM, asset liability management mismatch. Negative gap or positive gap. That is both will be there. Reinvestment risk. Reinvestment risk. Uncertainty with regard to interest rate at which future cash flows could be reinvested. It means now today we had invested some investment. On that investment every year you are getting the coupon interest. That again that coupon interest, if you want to invest, uncertainty is there for reinvestment in future. That number one. Number two, presently the coupon rate which we are getting on the existing investments or coupon rate is high. Now the investor want to invest that coupon at in the further investments at a future time. That in the future the rate of interest is going to be less. At that time the investor has to pay the reinvestment risk. Normally the reinvestment risk is there in Government of India bonds. Why it is there in Government of India bonds? In the Government of India bonds, half yearly interest is the Government of India paying half yearly. Some investors, whatever the interest they are getting on half yearly, again they want to reinvest, for example. At the time of reinvestment, the ruling market rate is less than the interest which they are getting from the Government of India coupon rate. That is called reinvestment risk. Systemic risk. Systemic means whole banking, entire economy, entire industry is facing that risk. That is called a systemic risk. That is called ripple effect also. Ripple effect also. That is also systemic risk means entire system, entire banking, entire industry is facing the risk. That is shortcut. It is also called as ripple effect. Frequently they are asking in the examination. Price risk. Price risk. Risk of adverse movement in the price of shares. Now, if there is a adverse price movements are there in the share prices, it means purchase price is at investment price is at high and the present prices are less. Now, if you want to sell the shares at the present market price at a lower price, you will get losses. That losses will be reducing the capital or investment base. So loss means capital loss. It means loss means your capital is going to be eroded. Capital is going to be deducted. That is called price risk. Change in the price movement of shares. Now, operational risk. Operational risk. As for Basel II and Basel III, bank has to maintain capital for credit risk, market risk and operational risk. What is meant by operational risk? Operational risk arises from system failures, human intervention frauds, non-compliances to regulatories, failed internal process system, internal process failed, non-observance of internal process, deviation from normal standards, deviations from normal rules, regulations and standards, and planned functioning of systems, procedures and technology, all will comes under part of operations. All will comes under part of. For operation risk, as per Basel II and in Basel III also, we are using basic indicator approach for calculation of capital charge for operational risk. Basic indicator approach. Under basic indicator approach, banks has to maintain 15% of average gross income of previous 3 years. That is the capital charge requirement for operational risk under basic indicator approach. Again, operation risk classified based on. Again, further classification of operational risk, cause-based effect, cause-based. What are the causes for operational risk? What is the effect of the failures? Suppose system failure, what is the effect? Non-compliances, what is the effect? That is called effect-based. And what are the events? What are the events leaded to operational risk? What are the events leaded to operational risk in that bank? So further you have to read the operation risk. One is cause based, effect based, and event based. These reasons you have to study in detail. Value at risk is used to find market risk. This is also important in risk management, particularly market risk. Value at risk is used to find market risk in treasury or investments. That is number one. Number two, normally value at risk explains the potential loss under normal market conditions. It will explain the risk or loss during the normal market conditions. Further, for calculation of value at risk, banks required confidence level, number of trading days, amount of portfolio. The three requirements are required for calculating value at risk in treasury department. Residual risk of securitization. This question also it looks very easy but very difficult question this is. Residual risk of securitization. First you have to know the securitization. Securitization means sale of assets. First. Second, sale of NPA to asset reconstruction companies. Number two. Number three, when banks are selling assets or NPA assets to securitization companies or other companies, banks are not getting full amount of the sale price of the assets. Part amount they are getting cash, part amount banks are getting securitization receipts. Now, what are the residual risk after sale of the assets? That is the meaning of the question. What are the risks after sale of securitization means? After sale of NPA to securitization company, part amount we are getting cash. In that cash, there is no risk. We are getting some securitization receipts. For the securitization receipts, repayment is 6 to 8 years. During that 6 to 8 years, what is the credit risk? What is the quality of that bonds? Security receipts bonds. That is called credit risk. Number two, whether if the bank want to sell the securitization receipts, whether any buyer is there in the market or not. That is also market risk, number two. Number three, market risk means, for example, the securitization issue price of the bond is 100 rupees. What is the present value of the bond? That is also comes under market risk. That's why securitization is this question is a very deep-rooted question. Deep understanding is required for answering this question. Now, finally, residual risk of securitization can be part of credit risk and market risk. Hairstart risk. Hairstart risk, this is also settlement risk. Risk of settlement, that settlement risk arises because of time zone differences, because of various geographical situations. Various countries are situated in various geographical areas. That country's timings are different. Our country timings is bank timing is 10 to 5, for example. Other countries banking time is evening 8 to midnight, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. After completion of our banking activity in other country, their banking activity is going to be started. Because of this settlement delay is there. Settlement delay is taking place. Because of this settlement delay, any banks are facing problem. In 1973-74, one of the bank was failed because of this risk. That's why that is the famous quote is called as Hairstart risk, the risk of settlement that arises from time difference. This question also they are asking. Basis risk. In the deposits and advances, almost all Indian banks we are facing basis risk. What is meant by basis risk? The different interest rates on deposits, interest rates on advances are not changing in same direction. So for example, one bank has increased the rate of interest on deposits by 0.5%, means 50 basis points increase in on deposits. On advances, the bank has increased the rate of interest on 30 basis points. Here the basis risk is 20 basis points. That is one. Second basis risk is, for example, one bank is borrowing at 182-day treasury bill. A bank is borrowing at 182-day treasury bill rate and investing in 91-day treasury bill rate. Here also basis risk is there. That is called basis risk. Okay. Then interest rate risk in the trading book and banking book. Now interest rate. As of today, banks are facing one of the major risks is interest rate because the MCLR, marginal cost of fund based lending rate, external benchmark lending rate, marginal cost of fund based lending rate, monthly review, external benchmark lending rate, quarterly review, means bank assets or liabilities are going to subject to review based on MCLR and external benchmark rate. Whenever there is a changes in this interest rates, the entire deposit structure and advance structure is going to be changes. That is called interest rate risk. Risk that the financial value of assets or liability. Whenever there is a fall in the interest rate on advances, example I am telling, the value of the financial assets of the bank, differently it is coming down. Because the bank net interest income is coming down, number one. Number two, any bank has increased the interest on deposits, for example. Deposits. When the bank is paying a little bit more on the interest on the deposits, the bank's net interest income is going to be down. That's why the financial value of assets or liabilities will be altered because of fluctuation in interest rates. Because of fluctuation in interest rates, the bank's net interest income, that is net interest income is interest on advances minus interest on deposits, that is going to be changed. Whenever there is a change in the net interest income, automatically the bank's profitability is going to be down. When the bank profitability is going to down, the value of the assets or liabilities are going to be changed. That is called interest rate risk. Specific risk. Specific risk refers to the risk associated with a particular security. Particular security means particular share, debenture, bond or government of India. Issuer, particular company, or particular issuer means issuer of the bond, debenture or shares or a company. So when a risk assigned to specific securities or issuer or a company based on, normally specific risk will depends upon the rating of the company and remaining maturity of the maturity of the period. Normally this will come in specific risk, normally comes in market risk. Dear viewers, this presentation will be more beneficial to the participants for the forthcoming examination bank financial management paper preparation, because they are asking various types of risk definitions also. I had tried through these two slides, I had tried and discussed various types of risks in BFM, risk management, treasury management and balance sheet management. Thank you very much for supporting our YouTube channel. Please share these news among your friends who had not subscribed to our channel. Since we are posting regular updates in this YouTube channel, they may be beneficial. Thank you very much for all the viewers.